I owe a lot to the Marine Corps. It allowed me to travel to 30 countries when I had never traveled before. It gave me a job when I never had a job before. And it introduced me to my wife. I've been thinking recently about what started it all, boot camp or recruit training. It's been 10 years since I was first in Marine Corps recruit training. In fact, exactly 10 years ago, I was 1 month into it at MCRD San Diego. I stepped on the yellow footprints on Monday, July 19th, 2010, and since that day, my life has been completely different. Granted, I had only recently graduated high school, and so I really hadn't done anything big with my life, but nonetheless, no matter what I accomplish or what I've done since then, there are very few accomplishments that are as memorable and as meaningful as graduating from Marine Corps boot camp. But it's not just about graduating, it's actually about as well the experiences you have while you're there and what you learn. Now, as I mentioned, it's been about 10 years since I was last in boot camp, and so it's been a while. And it was naturally a blur because a lot of things happen. It's a 13-week program, and so by the time you get to the end of it, the things that you experience in the beginning have already started to phase away a little bit, become a little bit blurry in memory. But I'm going to try to do my best to recap some of the lessons I learned and maybe share some tips for any of you that are interested in Marine Corps boot camp or may one day find yourselves there. So it all starts with the first week they call receiving week, and I guess that's kind of like week zero. This week is very, very exciting. Don't be discouraged when you look on the training calendar or the training matrix when it just says you have a whole week of receiving before you actually do anything fun. In fact, it's a full week after you get there. Is a full week later is when you actually get your M16A4 for the first time and start doing cool things like learning McMap and doing those PT sessions. You do, different training. You learn all the different skills you need to have as a Marine. There's so many great milestones to look forward to in boot camp, but receiving week, the very first week, really does stand out. Now, for me, I live not far from San Diego. And so, because the recruit depot is actually in San Diego, I'm one of the people, or I was among the group of people that had to travel the least. There's a lot of people that, are in Kansas, or, anyone west of the Mississippi, any males west of the Mississippi go to MCRD San Diego. Everyone, all females, and then all males east of the Mississippi go to MCRD Parris Island. And so for me, when I first got there, when I first arrived on the yellow footprints, it was actually pretty still early in the day. It was still daylight. I remember it being about 4:30 p.m. We had spent all day at MEPS. I think I spent the night close to MEPS the night before, and then you spend all day at MEPS, mostly just waiting around. And I'm not sure how it is now, but at least then, I don't even remember playing on my cell phone at all. Granted, 2010 was a very different time for technology compared to today. But I remember just being bored, just staring at the wall and waiting all day. But nonetheless, when I finally arrived to MCRD San Diego, it was almost a little underwhelming at first because all of the documentaries you may see show just this absolute chaos when you first arrive, and that's how it is. But for the first group of Marines that get there, it was not that way. So I got there at about 4:30 p.m. with maybe 15 other recruits, and we stood on the yellow footprints, and we go through, we get our hair cut and we do all that stuff, but it still felt really intimate. It wasn't just this crazy chaotic thing you see on YouTube. And so we grab our uniforms, we grab our bags, they separate all of your personal belongings and you put it in a cardboard box that they hold on to for 3 months. This is why it's important not to take anything with you. I mean, they're going to take everything you own away from you as soon as you get there, including your hair. And so when you first change into your uniform, you put your wallet, your keys, your cell phone, everything you have. And so it's important to travel light, or at least as light as you can, because it's just going to be sitting in a box for 3 months. And so that first day, that first afternoon, we also did a lot of waiting, and we had to wait until midnight or 1 in the morning until the rest of the company came in. I ended up being assigned to platoon 2106 with Echo Company, and we were the very first group of people to get there. And so after the large batch of recruits came in, however many hundreds of more came in after me, I was one of the recruits that helped hand out all of the covers, the camouflage hats, the different uniform items, to make sure every recruit that came in the company after me receives all those items. And so what can you expect the first night when everyone gets checked in, when everyone is there? Well, you can expect not to sleep at all. You're not going to sleep. Your first night, by design, is supposed to be very, very busy. There will be a lot of standing around and a lot of just standing in silence. But you are definitely not going to sleep that first night. And I think part of it is to just have that initial shock and to take away any critical thinking skills you may have. But really, it won't matter, because you're going to be so excited because you've been training for this day for however long, maybe for years, maybe months. But definitely it's been something that you've been looking forward to for a long time. So you're not going to mind missing that first night of sleep. You probably won't even be able to sleep anyway, even if they did give you the opportunity to sleep. But so for your first week, you are with a receiving platoon. You're not actually assigned to your normal platoon. So you might kind of stick around some familiar faces. You'll get used to the people around you, even if you're not really talking and getting to know each other. But everything changes on that Friday, that very first Friday. You get there on a Monday afternoon or Monday evening or Monday night. And that very first Friday is called Black Friday. And that's when you actually meet the drill instructors that you're going to have for the rest of boot camp. The first drill instructors you come across, those are not the drill instructors that are going to be with you throughout the whole training. Those are drill instructors that they do that every week. Maybe some of them might be newer drill instructors, some of them might be older, but nonetheless, they're not really going to be the drill instructors that you're going to be spending time with throughout the training. But that first Friday, that Black Friday, that's when you actually sit down cross-legged on the floor, and you're going to listen to the speech from your senior drill instructor. You've probably seen the videos of it. They give you a little speech. They introduce you to the other drill instructors. You see the company commander, who's a captain. He might give you a little speech, he or she. And then as soon as all those speeches are over, which maybe it lasts 10 minutes, that's when all hell breaks loose. What they should do, and what they did for me, is they have you stand up slowly, because you've been sitting cross-legged on the floor for a while, and so you've probably lost some circulation in your legs. And they've had enough recruits stand up really quickly in the past and faint, having all that blood just go straight to your legs right away. And so they'll have you stand up slowly, shake it out, and then all hell breaks loose. And so for that first week, up until that point, you've been getting a lot of administrative stuff done. You're signing a lot of documents. If you don't have your social security number memorized at that point, when you get there, by the end of that first week, you're going to have your social security number memorized, which actually it's probably important to memorize it before you go anyway. It's obviously a very important number, but you're going to be signing so many documents. You're going to be signing documents about TRICARE with the military's medical coverage. You're going to be signing documents relating to your life insurance policy, which every active duty service member has a $400,000 life insurance policy, so you're going to be signing that. You may or may not be signing some type of power of attorney. I can't remember exactly for different types of things, but you're just signing a ton of legal documents that first week. You won't be getting anything medical done, I don't think, until a little bit later. And that's in boot camp. You're going to be getting a ton of shots. You may get some shots kind of in the beginning, but I remember when I got all these medical shots, it was with my platoon, so that must have been later. But during that whole first week, you're also buying things. You're going to be going to the PX. You're going to get a bank account, actually. And they're going to give you a debit card. And when I went through, at the time, they gave me a debit card and a bank account with Pacific Marine Credit Union, which technically they don't exist anymore. Well, really, they just changed the name. It's Front Wave Credit Union now for the Marines or for the recruits at Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego. But it's just a small local credit union in Southern California. You can get rid of it as soon as you graduate. But nonetheless, they just kind of give you a basic bank account. You have no choice in the matter. All your money, all your paychecks go in there because you will be getting paid while you're in boot camp. So literally from that very first day, you will start to receive a paycheck. And because you're new in the military, you're the lowest rank, you basically start to get paid as a private or PFC. And you're not making very much. If I remember, maybe it's like $1,000 every 2 weeks, $1,200. You could look online and see what the military pay charts are for an E1 or an E2 with less than 2 years of service. It's not very much, but it's a lot when you're not spending any money on anything except for just small uniform items, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, these kind of things, mouthwash. You're going to be buying all these things the very first week, and you'll be resupplying yourself throughout boot camp, of course, but just expect that that very first Friday, you will have a sea bag, a green bag that you're carrying all of these items. Don't get too attached to it because that very first day, they're just going to dump everyone's stuff all over the squad bay, which is the area where you sleep. It's the area where you where you meet your drill instructors. It's where you're basically going to be staying as a platoon with 80 other guys or however many. For me, it was about 80. But yeah, they're going to be dumping everything all over the place. So expect to just have just a crazy mess with mouthwash everywhere, deodorant, shoes, shoelaces, and they're going to have you try to work together to recuperate some of these things and clean up. And so, yeah, so this video is just about, I just wanted to cover the very first week, receiving week. There's so many great things to look forward to in boot camp, and you're going to be creating so many memories. You're going to be doing a lot of things for the first time. A lot of Marines have never shot a gun before, or a lot of recruits, I'll say. That was my case. I'd never even touched a gun, or even, definitely never shot a gun, but much less never even touched a gun before going to boot camp. I was born in the city, I didn't have a rural upbringing, and so shooting weapons was something that was completely foreign to me, but I was introduced in boot camp. You won't actually shoot any weapons until later on, until phase 2, but the first week you're basically by yourself. The first week in recruit training, all you have to worry about is yourself and your belongings. 1 week in, a week from when you first check in, that's when they actually assign you the M16, and then you will learn how to carry it, to march with it, to do different drill movements. You'll basically be carrying around this weapon and taking care of it for a month or so until you actually learn how to shoot it. But that's something fun to look forward to. You're also going to learn how to swim the Marine Corps way. They're going to teach you basic lessons on how to stay afloat. They're going to teach you how to get through a obstacle course. They're going to teach you how to do basic martial arts, all these things. So there's so many things to look forward to in Marine Corps boot camp, but it all begins that very first day and that very first week when you first check in and you first get introduced to the basics. It's something to look forward to. It's an exciting week. It's going to go by very fast. I'm going to do some more videos where I talk about other stories I have from other parts of Marine Corps boot camp, but this was just talking about the very first week, receiving week. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, or if you want me to address anything in future videos, feel free to leave a comment. And I will leave you with one suggestion, which if you are so excited to go to boot camp, or you want to actually see what it's like and see actual footage, I highly recommend the documentary Ears Open, Eyeballs Click. I think it was made in 2004, about that time, but not much has changed with Marine Corps boot camp. Very little has changed since I was last there, and very little has changed since that time. It's all basically the same, and so it'll help you get motivated. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.